Good day YouTube and welcome back to Glenn's Speed Shop. Today's video is sponsored by Mosasaur. We are going to install their 48 volt 105 amp hour lithium battery system in my 2018 Yamaha Drive 2 golf cart. I'm very impressed with this battery kit, and today we're going to show you how I installed it in my golf cart. Here we go. I'll leave a link in the description below to Mosasaur website and to Amazon so you can check these out for yourself. Good day, YouTube. It is the 17th of January, 2025. And this is my 2018 Yamaha Drive 2 48 volt electric cart. Got a few videos on this. So back, oh gosh, been 3 or 4 months now. I received an opportunity to do a golf cart lithium battery with a company, and I said, at the moment I don't have an electric cart, but if you're serious about that opportunity, I'll get one. And so we talked a little bit and we decided to go forward with it. I have a couple of the golf cart projects currently, but I reached out to my golf cart dealer friend. They deal in other brands of new golf carts, so they take in a lot of trades. And I told them I'm looking for a cart that needs work because I can't spend a bunch of money on it. I'm not looking for a cart to keep forever. I'm looking for a cart to do a build. So I prefer something that needs some work and has junk batteries in it at a good price. And that's what I got here. He sent me some pictures of a couple things they had on the lot. One of them was too old and too far gone to put this kind of investment in it. And then he sent me pictures of this one, 2018. He says it needs a controller and it needs batteries. I said, great. If you're there at the office, I'll cruise up and get it. It's about an hour and a half one way for me, a 3-hour round trip to go get something like this where their office is, but I'm certainly willing to make the effort and did. So here it is. We have this 2018 cart. Got a couple videos out on it where we were trying to get it to work. I actually restored the batteries. They were not that bad. In fact, they were actually pretty good. They're Trojan batteries. Got the water system in it and everything. So I'm going to be looking for another electric cart so I can put these batteries to use, because here in a minute they're going away. Again, they charged it well, and once I changed the controller out, we put a Novitas. I got the back end full of junk. Anyway, 450 amp Novitas controller in this thing, and it went from not working very well, working sometimes and not working other times, to and would pull about 12 to 13 miles an hour with that old controller. Put the Novitas in, this thing just came to life. It's like a brand new machine. It's got great response, good pickup, and will now go 18 miles an hour. And I haven't even tried it with the new tires and wheels on it. Just weather hasn't been great. In fact, it hasn't been off the lift since we put the wheels and tires on it. So why are we here? Well, let me show you what's in the big box. Well, I can tell you it is a 48 volt 105 amp hour lithium battery. What do you say we get this thing opened up? I need a knife. Okay. It is some kind of heavy. And This is all new to me, folks, so we're going to learn together. Of course, I have the support if I need it, but it's a lot like having instructions. You know they're going to be there, but you don't really want to look at them or nothing. This thing is unbelievably heavy. I mean, that's a relative term. I think it's half the weight of the 6 8-volt batteries that are in this cart, but I can't pick up 8 6-volt batteries. I probably can't pick up 3 6-volt batteries, or 3 8-volt batteries. So it's a relative term. These are, I understand, substantially lighter than lead acid batteries, but that doesn't make them light. So I don't know how the FedEx guy deals with this. A hand truck, I know that. Yeah, there's no way I can lift this into the cart, so it will be tricky. But right above I have a winch on a trolley, electric winch on a trolley. So at some point we're gonna have to back the golf cart off, pull the lift out of the way, and lift the battery to set it in to the cart. So I think we're set up for it. I think it'll be fine. I don't have any friends, so nobody's coming over. It's got carry handles. That's outstanding. So again, boys and girls, this is all new to me. I've done a few electric carts, but they've all been lead acid. So let me, give me a minute here. Right, I moved you over a little bit. Let's look at what we got. We'll zip this open. This is the charger. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got a communications cable. That is a Yamaha charger, isn't it? Or close. Doesn't matter, right? Because they gave me both ends. Fantastic. Oh, I'm excited. Plug. Outlet. I'm confused now. Oh, I know. So this will power, this will go in place of the stock charger. This is the 110 volt connection to the battery charger, which you can build into the cart. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. Very quality. I mean, this is, dang. It's a little more than I was expecting, to tell you the honest truth. Okay. But I did take a peek in this box, and this, again, wasn't expecting. This is an LCD screen, smart battery LCD. So we'll dig into this a little more. Sorry, I'm not even in the frame. Yeah, LCD screen. Gonna mount right up on the dash. You know what the hay's going on with your battery. Communications cable. Wow. I did mention earlier that we didn't know if we're keeping this or not. I believe my wife has expressed much interest in keeping the red one, which is kind of why we went a little higher end on stuff on it, because for a while anyway, we'll keep it. We don't know if a while is 10 years or 10 months or 5 years or somewhere in between. because there's always something that comes along. But I also have fell in love with some stuff too over time that means we're going to hang on to it for a while. Anyway, and some beautiful paperwork. There's a couple battery terminal covers, plastic ones. There is stainless steel hardware. And I took a quick glance at the paperwork. And you know, sometimes you get stuff and the paperwork is barely readable, and I guess sometimes you learn to expect that. This is fabulous. So look at the pamphlet. Just the quality. I mean, it's like you're buying a Mercedes here or something. Big, bold print, well, in full color. Packing list for different batteries and different configurations and such. This is a little more than I expected, guys. I gotta tell you, a laminated installation card. If we turn it this way, kind of all the parts, kind of everything that I want to hold this up so you can scan that for information. I'll give you everything I can and a link as well. I'm going to kind of digest this stuff a little bit, quite honestly, and I've got to take off for the day. So tomorrow we're going to get into this a little bit. I wanted to open this up. I've been so anxious to open this up, see what we got. And yeah, it's a lot I need to digest here a little bit. But tomorrow we'll look at this just a little more and then kind of move it out of the way and then start focusing our attention on getting these batteries out of this cart and getting all the tie downs and so forth in a situation where this battery will go in and we'll manufacture whatever we have to make it work. So for now, good night, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, boys and girls, it is not tomorrow. It is actually January 25th. Yeah, it's a Friday. Had to take some time off of this because I had a bunch of parts show up for other projects. And I really needed to get those other projects done so I could, A, make a little room in here, and B, could focus a little better on this. And it is a beautiful day, man. I wish this was nicer outside because we'd be out cruising the golf cart. I have to tell you a little story, though, real quick. I've had many golf cart projects over the years. And they're just fun to work on. I love to work on them. And this is just a really nice cart. Once we get the thing finally, the batteries in and everything cleaned up and detailed and so forth, this is going to be nice. And I got to tell you, my wife wants to keep this. We have one of our dogs loves to ride golf carts. We had to live here at the barn for about a month and a half because we had a major remodel going on a couple years ago, well, a year and a half ago, at the house. And every evening had a different cart, and every evening we would take our dog for a ride on the golf cart. So I have one dog that wants to go for a ride on the golf cart like every day, and the other dog hates the golf cart, will nip at the tires, just goes crazy. So we have both ends of the spectrum, and my wife really wants to take our littlest, our oldest, on golf cart rides on this around the neighborhood. Neighbors love to see that, especially this. I mean, it's electric and it doesn't make any noise to speak of. Anyway, we are back on the cart. I had to do a little bit of research on how to pronounce the Mosasaur. It's kind of like dinosaur, and I guess a Mosasaur is this real creature, and that is part of their logo and so forth, is that creature. Mosasaur is the name brand of the battery, the charger, and the display that we have for this cart. The more I look at this cart, the more I really, really like it. I've chosen wheels and seat and steering wheel and stuff. the thing's really come together. We blacked out all of the plastics and stuff, and it really looks good. I'm really feeling this thing now, boys and girls. I'm telling you, we are probably going to keep it. Also, one of the other carts, a couple more in the barn. So let's get to it. I need to take this seat off, and I'll start taking things apart. So I can see the tie downs here, so that should be pretty easy to pop them out. I'm going to remove this water system. Hopefully it just unplugs. So remember, guys, I've never done this. This is first for me. So if you're a beginner and you're thinking of doing a lithium battery swap, come along with me, because this is first for me, but we'll figure it out and help you out a little bit along the way, I hope. I don't really like to call the videos that I do how-to videos, because they're really how I do it videos. But they are what they are. So if it helps you, that's wonderful. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. On any comment on any video, any question, I don't really care. I check comments absolutely every morning. I respond to every one of them. If it's just a comment, not really a question, I'll give you a thumbs up. But I'll do it every morning, unless I'm super sick, ill, or had to leave at 5 a.m. for some important thing. Anyway, let me get you in the stand. Let me start taking some of this apart. Let me put this seat somewhere so I don't damage it. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. Here we go. All right, I got started taking stuff off. If you're going to get into these batteries, first thing you want to do is pull one of the jumpers to dead. You make this string dead. That way if you touch ground or something like that, nothing bad will happen, okay? First off, I'm using this tool. It's a body trim tool for pulling this water system apart. Because I don't want to damage it, because I might be able to use it. Okay, so that'd be the end of this. Add water after charging only, says Yamaha. Again, pull a jumper, whatever one is easiest. I've got these loose, got that one loose. I dropped one nut, but we'll put all the nuts back on. This is a wire that goes back probably to the controller, if it'll come off of that stud. So take some pictures. In my case, I'll use my video. This is about a 16 gauge wire, possibly. It's been in run mode the whole time. Okay, so this wire goes back to the controller. Okay, and it was on the negative of the string, so it went back, and it should go on the negative of the new battery, because this is the charge wire from the charger port. Okay, it will be replacing that. Okay, so got a 9/16. My battery stainless steel nuts are 9/16. Pull the jumpers. Of course, I'm saving everything because I want to reuse this. Whether I find another cart or sell these or something, help somebody. Okay, so this is the charge wires from the charger port. There'll be one more wire that tells this golf cart don't run because it's on charge, and it disconnects right here. Okay. And take that cable. So this is the hot going to the controller, negative to the controller, charge wires, disable. I'll call it ignition disable, something like that. 12mm socket will take off these hold down clamps. Like that. Bolts. Bolts. Very nice. These bolts are corroded. So if I wasn't doing the lithium and I was putting all this back, I'd go get new hardware. Prefer stainless hardware. We're going to put the nuts back on the batteries. These are nice condition stainless steel nuts. Takes a 9/16 socket or wrench. So they're very nice. And we're going to try to reuse it. I'll probably go around and put some tape or plugs or something in these holes so no dirt gets in to the battery. At some point we got to lift these heavy batteries out of here. Looking forward to that. So's my back. All right. I think I've got a battery clamper thing. Let me go grab that. I could have been better prepared. Okay. Hopefully this apparatus works well. Oh, you know what? I've done this before. You got to take one out so you can move them around because it's tucked under the lip here. And they're tight. They're tight. And they're heavy. So now you can get this one untucked. There. It's quite dirty in here. Any money? Dang. No money. Alright, I'm going to work on this for a bit. I might even have to take this out of here and clean it up. It's very, very dirty. Alright, boys and girls, the batteries are out and it is a mess in there. So I thought, yeah, we'll just run it out and I'll hose all this out of here. But it doesn't run anymore because somebody took the batteries out, like me. You can also see these are set up to house 3 different battery configurations. I think even the Drive 2s, like this is a Drive 2 2018 model. It could still operate under 3 configurations. So 8 6-volt batteries would fit in here. 2, 4, 6, 8. That would give you the most run time in a lead acid battery configuration. Or 6 8-volt batteries, which is what we had, which is good range, but not the best range. It's about amp hour rating. All voltage is the same, but amp hour rating, not quite as much. And then 4 12-volt will give you that 48-volt, but it will be the least amount of range in the lead acid battery world. Okay, I've had both. I had 12-volt batteries in, it was a 2008 Yamaha drive, and then this one had 8-volt, and then 6s were the most common. In fact, they didn't have 8-volt batteries a long time ago. I don't know when they came out, but anyway, got all those batteries put away. I got to show you because I have a previous video. Depending on when I post this video, I built a rack, a shelf unit, if you will, to house my batteries and etc. Keep my jump starter here. Keep my battery chargers here, some of them anyway. So I got my smart charger, my dumb charger, which you might need one day, my 24-volt charger, which is what I use to charge the golf cart batteries 3 at a time. 3 times 8-volt is 24, and so I use that because that's all I had. It didn't come with a charger. And this is my battery tester, which, have a look at that and go get you one. They're like 30 bucks. It's fantastic. It'll tell you the state of health of all your batteries. But I built this, did some measuring, because I knew I'd be taking those batteries out, and I needed a place to put them that didn't end up all over the dang floor. So these are batteries that I just have kicking around. Some of them are pretty good. They're that's like a 2023 battery. That one I can't remember. Anyway, that's a 21 battery, if you can see in there. Okay, and then these are the golf cart batteries I just pulled out, put them on the shelf, and here they are. Now I can put some jumpers on these and charge them 3 at a time, and I might, using my 24-volt chargers, especially if they're going to sit for any length of time. Then my other chargers here, I can plug them in to the little plug strip there and charge these up, just keeping them up to snuff. I thought I would also mount an inverter on this rack in case we ever needed a little bit of power. We could snag an inverter onto any of the 12-volt batteries and have a little bit of power. Maybe the power goes out or something. I mean, it never does, but I'm always prepared. So back to this, I'm just going to get in there and vacuum this out and wipe it out because, like I said, I can't drive this out, and I am not capable of one person pushing it back up on the lift. Even coming up the ramp into the shop here is a pain. I think we'll also unplug this and pull this receptacle out, that charger input, because it might be easier to do now, and install the new charger input that comes in this kit. Probably be easier to do now than it will to do later. I have to make a little plate or something for this. So guys, I'm not going to fly through this installation by any means because I want to do this nice, especially, well, if I was to sell it or if I was to keep it, either way, I still want it to be nice. If I'm going to show you guys how I do stuff, I don't want to show it, just throw it together. So I don't really care how long it takes. I got time, and we'll put it together and we'll make it nice. So yeah, I got to get that out of there, and we'll put that other one in. And I think before we go too crazy, we'll figure out where we're going to mount that charger. As far as like the bottom of this, I don't want to destroy this cart. I don't want to cut it up or take this whole thing out or something, but we'll make some spacers, etc. for this. And I don't know that this comes with anything as far as like mounting hardware. I think we're kind of on our own for that, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. All right, guys, I'll bring you back when this is clean and that is out of here. Hey, boys and girls, that came out sweet. Okay, but it has these dividers in them. I need to set that battery in there. I don't want it to go wiggle wiggle. So that center divider is 1 inch tall. So what would be cool is I could find some boards to cut. That's about 21 inches long right there, so that I can build the floor up so it will stay level. Now, the directions that came with the battery are very, very good electrically, but they're leaving it up to, I mean, there's a million different kinds of golf carts out there, leaving it up to the owner to install it, secure it, etc. So this is on us. So we get to exercise our own discretion here at this point. And my feeling on the situation is there will always be a driver of this golf cart, which means he's always going to sit on the left. So my tendency will be to push the battery to the right. I believe it's like 150 pounds. I'm not looking forward to setting that thing in here. I am not. I'll probably do it in the morning. My back will be done for the day. But anyway, I'm going to put that battery on the right side, passenger side. Whoops. Shut up. My big compressor, the motor's done. There's a new one right there in that box. But I got to get this golf cart done and get it off of here so I can get that compressor out of the corner so I can change the motor out and I can use it again. In the meantime, I'm using that little guy. It's all it wants to do to lift this airlift up. So, but it'll get there. And we don't need it up right now anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go see if we can find some boards. That would be cool if I could find some boards that we can cut to length. We're looking for 1 inch thick. That's for another project. Don't look at that. I wonder if I scrounge around here enough, I might be able to find some. Holy smoke. Where did I find that? So this is a 6.5 foot bed. Oh, clear to the front. Impressive, isn't it? The people where I get my scrap lumber from thought it was impressive. But here's the deal. These are like 3/4 of an inch thick, so they'll come up short. Dang. But I sure got a lot of it. I cut the strap on the bundle. They threw this whole bundle away. It was a manufactured home place. It's all full of wormholes and stuff. I've got some of this wood from there before with the wormholes in it. Anyway, can't use that. Dang. All right, I got an idea, because I get stuff from there all the time. But you need a 0 turn. That one's ready to go. Hi, John Deere. You have issues. Look at that. 1 inch thick. Sweet. So let's take the prettiest ones. This was a crate. It was a crate. I think these two will do nicely. That's why it pays to be a hoarder. Yes, I'm a hoarder and I'm proud of it. You see this? This is the seat off the golf cart we're working on. See this box? It's another seat just like that one. Oh, if you're interested, I'll tell you the story. I don't have a golf cart for that seat yet, but I will have. All right, I'm going to measure this perfectly and cut some of those boards to fit. And then I do want to set the battery in here. to see what kind of room is left and where I should mount the charger. All right. I think it can be horizontal or vertical. There's no reason that it can't be, but I want it to look nice too. So, and we do have the steel support up front and on the rear. I did measure the height of the battery. It's about 9.5 inches tall. So it will sit above this rail, which is good. We can use these supports to tie it down. We'll just make some crossbars or some boards or something aesthetically pleasing or something. 1, 2 locations to set that battery there and strap her down. And that leaves us this whole area over here for the charger. So we might be able to mount it off this front rail or something. We will do something. Okay, I also wanted you to notice, I don't know if you go back in the video, we took all those batteries out. I gained, well, not that much, I gained quite a bit of suspension travel because of taking all that weight out. Now, it's going to come back down a little bit, but I think this battery's half the weight, maybe less than half. So anyway, if you're putting bigger tires on, you might be able to get by with a little taller tires if you're going lithium, because you've taken some weight out of it. All right, let me get those boards cut. Let's get this party going. All right, we got the stuff cut and we got them placed. I didn't really have a way to rip this other wood, so it didn't really matter. So I just cut little pieces to length and left a gap. That's more than adequate. So we're above the hump now. Do I want to deal with that battery today? I think so. That might be it for me. My back is not very good. And yeah, if I can get that thing in there, that'd be great. And then we'll see you tomorrow, kind of thing. So let me play with that a little bit, see if I'm up for it. And the issue is getting it up over the side and getting it down in. I have room to get the charger port put in with the battery in place. I have room for all the wiring. I have room to mount the charger. So there's no reason not to put it in place, I think, except my back. All right, let me give this a shot and we'll go from there. Bring you right back. All right, here's the plan. I've got a winch up here. Yeah, and it definitely pick it. It's fine, but I'd have to take the top off the golf cart to do it. Not that I couldn't, but that's one drawback. I also have a cherry picker, but it is so buried in there that we're talking a couple hours to get it out and put it back. However, I would take that opportunity to rearrange some things and put some other things away, so it wouldn't be a bad deal. But I went out the shed and grabbed my hydraulic table. I work on generators and lawnmowers and stuff on it out there, but I think what we'll do is set that battery on this lift. I think it will go just about high enough, and then I might be able to lift it from there without being so far to the ground. Let's try it. Okay. This is the end I want this way, so it's in the right orientation. I'm going to kind of use my knees as leverage there. Well, maybe. Okay. What do you think? Place your bets. Will it go high enough? I think it will. Very close. Okay, that's the height. Now then, how am I gonna do that? Oh boy, I'm gonna think about it for a little bit, bring it back. This is what I came up with. The ramp of death. Okay, are you ready? I hope they don't kick up. They probably will. They probably will. Wow, that went well so far. But we still have plenty of opportunity for failure. Get my finger out of here before I can't. That's better. Sweet! We're almost there. No injuries. Let my table down. Get it out of the way. I'm gonna go around the other side now. Can you see? Oh, see, can you see? Yep, I can see. Alrighty. Oh boy, it wants to pick up my woods. I don't want it to do that. Can you guys pull that way just a little bit for me, please? Thank you. I'd appreciate that. I know. Okay. Give me a lever and I'll move the world. There we go. Give me a lever. I'll move the battery. Sweet. Sweet. She's in. Injury free. Guess that's why they pay me the big money. That's what we used to say. I'm going to center it a little bit. Oh, there's something right there to center on. This is a clamping opportunity, so let's pull it out to where it does some good. We're not going to clamp it till we get everything kind of in here, kind of mocked up, if you will. Yeah! That's what I've been worried about. I figured we'd figure out a way. For all of you that assisted there, thank you. Okay. Okay, let's get that charger out, set it in there. We may end up doing something similar, like using wood and such. This is a very impressive kit. It really is. Oh, look. It's got mounting on the sides and the back. No way. It's just what I always wanted. Christmas, you know? That's awesome. What is this? %, 80%. Wow. Wow, this can go right in the dash. Okay, how do you unplug it? Because I don't want it in here at the moment. Why do they have to make all these connectors just a little different than everybody else's? I.e. hard to remove. Well, let's just leave it sit there for a sec. Wow. So, you know, from when you and I first opened the box, I was pretty impressed with this. And then deeper I get, I'm just more impressed with it. You could put this thing in anything. And what I was thinking, if you guys are part of my channel for a long time, you know I redid that 1975 city car. It was a 48 volt electric car made in the mid 70s. It was actually pretty cool. I picked it up in Portland, Oregon. It had been sitting in this guy's garage 30 years. I rebuilt a motor, got it running, rebuilt the electric motor, got it running, got it driving, fixed the brakes and all the electrical issues and the junk the owner had done to it, and put it on the street with new lead acid batteries in it, 6-volt golf cart batteries. But man, this setup here and a real controller like this Novitas controller I put in this thing, that would just rock that car. That would be so cool. Might have to do another one day. All right, I'm gonna just fiddle with this thing and kind of so I can sleep on it, and we'll come back tomorrow and do more fun stuff. Here we go. All right, boys and girls, I probably didn't do this like y'all might, but I did it like I did it. I got everything bolted down, chargers bolted down, sturdy. That's a DC to DC converter, so 48 volt to 12 volt. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with this. If I do put like headlights on it, I've done this before. I'll put a 48 volt set of headlights on it. But there'll be some 12 volt accessories probably. And we need to have provisions for that while we're doing this. So as long as we're doing the wiring, let's at least get the 12 or a 48 volt to 12 volt converter installed and powered up, and we'll go from there. We can put an inline fuse in it and then leave the fuse out just to have it not powered for a while. We'll kind of go from there. I need to start digging into the wiring, kind of get a game plan. We're gonna have to pull the floor mat off, which we just as well do anyway, get things cleaned up in there. And we'll have to route cables for this really cool meter. Yeah, 100%, 80%, something percent. We'll get those routed under the floor and up. I think I'll put that meter right in there somewhere. And then we got to mount that dash piece. And then looking up here, I'm not positive where that's going to go yet. Maybe here. Okay, so let me do some looking. I'm going to sleep on a little bit. I didn't get much done today. I had some other things come up. But it was a fun day nonetheless, okay? But we got all that stuff mounted. The hard part, heavy lifting type of things are done. And I think it looks great, looks clean. And leaving all this room for wiring. Might actually leave room, maybe we build a custom box in this square that's left to put items in, just kind of little storage thing. So I'm going to try and leave that clear. I put some more wood here, but I left room to get wiring in so that we could build something cool, like right up to the seat bottom. So, you know, maybe take this to the store or something. Which kind of leads to something that has been on my mind for a long time, actually. I always wanted to build a golf cart street legal, and you can. And this is actually pretty close. We have DOT tires. We have a windshield. We need lights, turn signals, and a horn. And it has to go in my town to, and this would be licensed as a low-speed vehicle, state of Oregon. It has to go 20 miles an hour, and it went 18 before tires, before battery. I'm confident it'll go 20. Like, as soon as we get this done, 20. So, yep, and we need to build some sort of a adapter for the charger plug. So I'm also thinking about that. So I don't like to go too quickly because I might do something in a manner that if I'd have thought about it, I'd do it differently. Right, wrong, or different. So I'm thinking about that. If that little piece was removable, I'd take it out and cut the hole bigger. Then I could put that plug into that same plate. But not sure that it is. I'll look at it closer and I'll let you know tomorrow. Here we go. Well, boys and girls, it is the next day. I've been working on this a little bit. In my older years, I tend to get started a little slower every day. But hey, I enjoy life, right? So I got the floor mat off. You got to pull those plastic holder downer things out of there, and I cleaned this up. It was really dirty, kind of packed in there, so I'll actually clean it a little better when we're done. Yeah, it's got this little divot hole right there, and then on the inside I think we can snake the wires just through here and then through here. Okay, and then we got to get up to the console. So I've pried the little emblem off there. I just used a little kind of hook gut under it. It's got two little tabs there. And then I think I found the Torx bit that can remove the screw. Let's do that real quick, make sure we can access everything. So I've done quite a few Yamaha drives. This is my first drive too, and this dash is a little different, although I think it's very similar. So I'm expecting to be able to reach right down in on top of those, like the ignition switch and the backup switch. I anticipate being able to just jump in there and reach into there. But let's verify that, because we got to get this off, because I think that battery, let's put this in there, we don't lose it. Yeah, here we go. I think that little battery gauge that comes with the kit, we're going to mount on the right side of the reverse, because I think it'll look better. You may not be able to see it as as easily as anywhere. Nobody has hidden any money into this. Why don't you guys hide stuff in your golf carts where nobody else can find it? Oh, there's some real expensive little pencils still left in there. Got some garbage. So yeah, just as I expected, we can get right in there to the back side. This is plugged in. I know you can't see it, I'm in your way. Let me unplug that thing. It's this. Yeah, I got it unplugged. It's that little gauge there. I guess I'd put it green side down if we put it in there. We're going to have to drill a hole in the plastic. It's got a little lock nut, a little washer. Let's look at that. It's a beautiful day out there again today, guys. It's about 11 a.m. and wow, we've had exceptional weather. We went through like 2 months of just solid rain, and now wake up, it's cool. It wasn't quite freezing this morning, And it warms up into the 40s, so it's really nice. I'd love to be cutting lawns. I'm one of them weird guys that likes to mow. We have this Facebook thing. It's called a dollar auction for our town and surrounding towns. Anyway, I bought my first item on it here a few weeks ago. And as I was cleaning up my upstairs area, my studio and such, I've got just some things that I just about throw away, but maybe somebody wants them. So I put 4 items up on that dollar auction, and yeah, sold them. So I got people coming picking these up. I'm not sure why this fits loose like that. Oh well. Guess they know what they're doing. So let's get this mounted in there, because then we can snake the cable down and around. It's my first time seeing in here. There's also a plug in here that doesn't plug into anything. I wonder what that does. Other than that, this does have a USB, a double USB port. I don't know how it gets its voltage down. These are like 5 volts or something like that, 5 or 6 volts. So this must be a 48 volt version of that instead of what we're used to, 12 volt version. So yeah, let me get my calipers out. Let's measure this. Let's find a hole saw. I'll get it all measured out on that panel because I want it equally spaced between the ignition switch and center of the forward reverse, and then of course centered up and down. Okay, so I'll do that kind of off camera. It's kind of boring, and then we'll get this mounted on this side, get the cable secured, and start routing down to under the floor. And then we have that dash piece to put on, so let's look at that before we get too crazy. Alright guys, mounting this up here because the way this whole dash comes out and leaving that accessible just doesn't feel good. I just not feeling it. But down here, however, it kind of protects it a little. It's at a good angle to see it by. And if we parallel it to here, that'll work. Yeah, screwing it down, difficult. Maybe closer to the steering column. So I think I'm going to glue it in place. I use adhesive silicone. I get it at Harbor Freight. It's like $5 a tube. Stuff works great. I've glued a lot of stuff down over the years. Not sponsored or anything, but it's just good stuff. And I never want to run out of this. I use it all the time for different things. As silicone, as an adhesive, as whatever. So I think I'm going to do that. I can clean up the area underneath because I've got a lot of Armor All type product on it. We'll get that all cleaned up and we'll glue this down. We'll probably do it later in the day. That way I don't bump it or anything. It can kind of adhere all night. So, but we can get the cable in and ready for this. In the meantime, I'll set this aside. Get the cable out that we're going to use. And then we can make our holes and such where we need to go. So here's the cable. It doesn't matter. The ends are the same, unless it might need to be marked for polarity purposes. This says display, and this says display communication cable. Oh, display communication cable. Got it. Okay, so we can just route it in there. So I'm going to do that too. We'll have to drill a hole into here, big enough to pass the connector through, but that'll be good. We'll keep it down here so it's really out of sight, and we'll drill through the top so no water intrusion. And then we can route it through, down underneath, and back into here nice and clean. So we got to get this cable through. We've got to get this cable through. But remember, we're building this 12 volt converter. It's a 48 volt to 12 volt. Sorry, should have shut you down before I did all that right there. So we should get some wires up into this console as well. Even though I don't plan to use them at the moment, to be usable, and now's the time. We're routing wires. Let's put some wires in there. Even if I just pull some wire off the spools, which is probably what we'll do, we can get them put in there and ready for whatever. Put a radio in it, voltmeter, etc. What we'll probably do is bring that up into here and put a fuse box up under the dash, and for stuff like that. Okay, so you kind of got a feel for what I'm about to do, so I'm going to get to doing it. I'll bring you back and show you completeness. Here we go. All right, I've just been plugging along here. I'm not even sure where I've left off. Anyway, we got that little gauge put into the dash, and we've got the wiring for it running down. We've got this cable for that digital display to plug in here. Everything is not secured yet. They are pulled. And I pulled 3 number 14s, a ground and a couple different hots. We'll just coil these up for now and leave them in this compartment. They are run underneath, and then they are run into this compartment here. So again, we'll coil these up, we'll leave these here. I put some shrink tube on that I did not shrink to give those protection. That's the cable. And then this little guy isn't anywhere near long enough to reach here. So evidently, that little gauge wasn't designed to put in the dash, but I want it in the dash because cable isn't anywhere near long enough. So I'm extending that. So I've got 3 number 18s ready to splice here. So I mean, I can't pin this out. I don't have the pins to do it. So we'll cut the insulation back. We'll cut the wire. I'll solder, shrink tube these little guys onto these little guys. Keep the pigtail with some wire link to it, color to color, and put on the other end of these and get them plugged in. So yeah, I think I'm gonna run grab lunch. We'll come back and get this wiring kind of dealt with, and we should be able to put this stuff back together, make these connections here, including connecting to the battery. We've got to deal with, before we do that, connect to the battery, we've got to mount the charge power inlet. Got a couple ideas. We'll fiddle with that when we get back. Here we go. All right, back from lunch. I'm going to splice this cable. Got it pretty well prepped. I got an overall shrink tube on it. I've got individual shrink tubes on it. Tied 2 wires together. I don't want to tie the third one together because they'd be hard to stay together. So we're going to solder, shrink tube these because of the nature. It's under the cart, so forth. Really protect things. I can tell if I had a working solder gun here. Oh, I got about a dozen of them. Sometimes they all don't work. Got a different one. Hey! You're in my way. This is some old solder I've had for a long time. It's got flux bulges in it. It still works good. I've got like this huge roll of it, like lifetime supply. I'd love to get this cart done tomorrow, or by tomorrow. If I could work at a better pace, I could get it done today, but I don't like rushing these things. But I do have some other stuff I want to get too, so. Just slow to heat up, but it'll get there. Eventually. I think the tips get weak or something, because I know I put a new one on this. I had a lot of soldering to do. I think I wore it out. Burned my finger. Alright, we'll slide our shrink tubes up. Okay, so that will be this guy. Probably in your way. We're just getting the slack out so we can get them routed properly. Get this out of my way. Alright, I'm going to throw a few tie wraps on that. We'll button up the stuff in the dash. Over here in the dash. And then we can focus here. So we'll get that stuff buttoned up and then we'll go to work on that power inlet. See if we can figure out a good way to mount that. I've got some thin aluminum diamond plate that we can make like a cover and cut it out, drill some holes and attach it to the body, but it'd be nice to attach it also to the metal structure how it was done originally. So the hole in it is just not big enough for that whole receptacle to go into. So we'll have to figure that out. Here we go. Well, guys, got this monitor mounted. I did sneak a couple screws in it, and I glued it down. So it was really difficult because of the angle to the dangle, you know, getting a drill through there, but I managed it. So that's ready to go. Cool thing, I didn't know. This little, where'd that connector go? Right here. That's 12 volt. So I put a DC to DC converter in, but it already had one. So I was going to take that one out. Actually, I did take it out, but I put it back. I had accidentally, I kind of bought two of them for a previous project. So let's just leave it in there until we get this thing up and running. What we might do is leave this one to run things that you want to run only when the ignition switch is on, and then leave that one to run all the time. For one reason or another, like for charging phones and stuff while the key is off. Stuff like that. So we're down to getting this plug figured out. And the best I think we're going to do is to install a aluminum diamond plate. I'll make one nice and wide. We'll put 6 screws or rivets or something. Probably put some rivets in it. And then maybe kind of glue it in place just to make it sturdy. Because this is a removable panel on the Drive 2s. This is removable. On the G29s, that's one solid piece. So that's pretty cool if you have to do some work on it, that's removable. So we'll leave the slack for the cable on this end so it could be, you know, removed and laid down on the floor or something. So zoom around to here. I've got some pieces of diamond plate, and this one should work good. So it's 8 inches wide. We'll leave it that width, but 5 inches high is about as tall as we want it. So let's go see if my shear will make that cut. All right, boys and girls. It's a little dark in here. I don't have any lights under my stairway, and I could really use to kind of remodel this space and create a better plan to park things, but it is what it is for now. So I don't have a lot of room to work, kind of handicapped here, but let's see what we can do here. Come on. I'm really short of space here. Wow, this is such a pain. Moving stuff so I can get an inch of space. Trying to come up just short of 5 inches. Should be right there. Okay. Okay. Full extension on the handle. If I can do this without dying. Wow. I really need to cut the other side. Oh, felt that in my back. Yeah, dang. Alright, well, I gotta redo something different here. Hope you can see it because I can't even see the camera. But kind of got to start on this right side. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. Drop my glasses. Find my piece. Alright, got a piece cut. Now I got to find center, drill a nice big hole, kind of set that in there and mark it out, drill some little holes, get this bolted in place. You know, they got a whole bags of hardware that came with this too. There's likely the hardware is in there for this, probably stainless. And then I'll get the Whitney punch out, punch some holes, and we'll probably rivet this onto the body, make it look good. That's what we'll do. All right, here we go. Boys and girls, I got it just sitting where it needs to be, but I got the receptacle or the power inlet all bolted. And I used 1032s with nuts on the back to make it steady. So yeah, I'll get some holes punched in that, and we'll get it attached to the body there, and we'll go from there. So I think I'll get that done before I boogie out of here today, and then in the morning we'll get this wiring buttoned up and hopefully take it for a test drive. And then I know this video is getting real long. Appreciate you watching this far. Once we get the wiring done, we're going to take it for a test drive, and I think as long as the instructions say it's okay, then we'll stop that video, we'll start a new one, and we'll get into the technical part of this thing, because this battery's got an app for your phone. We'll get some setup and stuff done, or maybe we'll push the whole test drive into the second video. I'll have a look and see how long this thing is, and we'll kind of go from there and get this thing split up so somebody will actually watch the thing. I have no idea how long it is now, but it's been a minute. All right, guys, we'll see you in the morning. All right, boys and girls, we are back. It is the next day again. It's a Monday now. I think we're going to end this video here and go to part 2. It's gotten very long. I kind of added up what we've got so far. And, yeah, it's getting long. So let's end it here. What we'll do in the next episode, and I'm going to try and stack the next episode in the following days. So I'll post this video on Saturday, and the second portion of the video on Sunday, so you can catch both of those. So do a quick recap. This is all mounted, good to go. Our power inlet, I actually have routed the wires to the battery. They're very loosely attached. This I screwed down. I also glued it down with the adhesive silicone that I mentioned. I also put adhesive silicone behind this plate. It's to give it some real sturdiness there. So that ain't coming off even if all the screws fell out. All the wires are routed neatly. Fairly neatly. Everything's mounted. Again, I'm leaving that DC to DC converter in. I've had it kicking around for a while anyway. It's brand new, whatever. So I need to just land the rest of the wires and then go through the startup process that's in the book. And this came with not only a really nice laminated battery connection diagram and a really good manual. So most of what's in this manual isn't about installation necessarily. Hang on while I figure it out. It's mostly about startup and getting the Bluetooth stuff all set up, the app downloaded, and etc. There's that big battery connection thing. There's some troubleshooting and all this kind of stuff. So we'll get into all of that on this next episode, and we'll get it out for a test drive. I don't want to rush it because I don't know how important the startup stuff is, because I haven't wrapped my arms around it yet. The positive cable is short for where the battery's sitting, so we'll make an extension to come around and land to here. We will bolt the lug to lug. That's very common in the electrical world, especially hooking up motors and such. Very good connection, so we'll do that. The grounds are long enough to hit the battery just fine. So yeah, we're looking good. So come back for episode 2. Thank you all for watching. Please give it a thumbs up on the way out, share it with a friend, and all that good stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and hit the bell notification. Then you'll know when my other videos post. Sound good? Leave a comment on this video, any other video, or just comment, say hi. I check comments absolutely every morning, answer every one of them. We'll see you on the next video.